Hi everybody, it's Scott Stoltz of Create Your Great, and I'm back for take 2 on co-working space. And I'm sitting here with Joe at Inc.Ubate co-working space in Winthrop. Joe, great to see you again.
Great to see you.
And we're getting out, I want to share because this is the second co-working space I've been in today. It's my first visit to Inc.Ubate in Winthrop. It's really nice. We're going to get into that in a minute. And I wanted to throw out there, for those of you who have either worked in co-working space or spent a little time or are thinking about it, there's so many benefits, especially in today's world economy, connection economy, that come along with jumping in on co-working space. So Joe, tell us a little bit of, well, first of all, you've been working on this space for a couple of weeks?
Yep, started the first week of March.
Winthrop, I think this is Winthrop's first co-working space.
Yep.
Validate me on that one. It's right in the downtown location. I'll let Joe give a few more logistics, but I'll tell you, as a first-time visitor, it's really nice. And one or two things that I would call out of it before Joe can share more as an actual user of this facility is it's a smaller setting, but it's super clean, super modern, really nice. There's enough people in and out of here that you're feeding them, getting some of that energy. And it has a good variety of we are actually in a closed conference room right now. So if there's other people working out in the common area, you don't need to bother them or they don't disturb you. But yeah, share some of your experiences here. How's it going?
Yeah, thanks for having me, Scott. I appreciate it. And nice to see all of you. Hope you're having a great Friday. I was previously working remotely, so the first time ever working remotely. So I'd always started off in the classroom, then working at a college. I'd always had an office and checked in the morning at a certain time, checked out in the evening. And then I was working remotely, which I thought was awesome, but I would say probably a little bit too much freedom. Didn't give me any structure, didn't give me a place, kind of control my environment of a place of work. So I was in and out of my house, we have a newborn baby, in and out in coffee shops, which not everyone's so focused. So here was just kind of the best of both worlds of just getting myself into a focused place where I can come at 7 a.m., 6 a.m., 9 a.m., 10 a.m. some days, so controlling my own schedule, but also knowing when I'm here, I'm checking in for work. So also my friend Nico here is working on his space, and we share commonalities of the fact that we both work 24 hours a day in and out, not all the way through, but being in here, putting on a shirt, coming to the office, even though it's a 3-minute drive for both of us, feels like you're checking in mentally, just gives you that kind of primer to start your day.
Yeah, I like that. It is a mental deal where just by coming here and being in this environment, you feel like, and it's super conducive, right, for a lot of people who have jobs where you're in the field a lot, and to be able to just come back to a home base because the way the economy has shifted and companies are cutting back on workspace. Yep. So to be able to have a location like this to go to, I can see all those benefits. Are you going to have, do you have and are you going to have client meetings here?
Yes, definitely. I actually closed my second deal here, so it was great. So right in here in the conference room, it was great. I had the opportunity to use a big screen, walk in very professional rather than trying to go to their workspace, to be able to invite them to a place where it kind of feels like your own office, even though it's not.
Yeah. If you have any experience in co-working space, large or small, I know some of you have either worked out of or do work out of a WeWork or an Impact Hub in Boston, or in some smaller places and some smaller work bars. If you have any comments, thoughts, suggestions for the group, the purpose of this very brief discussion is to encourage people to use. I don't belong to a location, but I'm in and out of so many of them thanks to my community and people like you. I mean, I see a lot of, I actually enjoy being able to go in and work for a few hours in a place like this. Even if it's just a small window of time, it doesn't need to be the full. Are there some days where you're here most of the day?
Yeah, I mean, it's all project-based, so there's some days, and for me, recently also reading for the first time Tim Ferriss's 4-Hour Work Week, it's kind of time fills what you're going to give it. So for me to say, hey, I'm going into the office from 6 to 9 because I have a meeting I have to leave for at 9:30, I get more work done in that 3-hour period than I would the whole day, and it lets me kind of do the things which I love, which is interacting with people, meeting people, going out to events. But as far as my work of the day, I can just come in, plug out, and go.
Absolutely. So is Ferriss one of your inspirations too, or that whole model of, and we know, I've read the book too, and a lot of his work, it's not so much about working 4 hours as it is working effectively and designing a life for yourself that works for you.
Yeah, just at the beginning. So I've been aware of his teachings in the book, but I haven't fully digested it. Okay. It's great. I'm in a new place, in a new company, so less than a year here. So trying to figure out exactly what that work is, do a little experimentation and automation, and so you can make sure you know what you're doing.
I got Joe tagged on this post if you see him. He's a great guy to connect with if you're local to the Boston area. definitely look into connecting with Joe. And even if you're not, connect with him online. He is, I would say, one of the best things that stands out of the many things is you're so into growth and so into learning and wanting to get better. And I think that's infectious. I think like what you do and a lot of things that you post on LinkedIn can't help but rub off on other people.
That's my hope.
Sure.
And when I share, it holds me accountable to actually believe it as well, so I can go back and internalize it. So I share it so other people will call me on it.
Absolutely. So maybe we'll jump in and put a comment in about finding Joe on LinkedIn as well. Anything else you want to share about this awesome place?
Everyone's invited. Come on down to Winthrop. We're going to hold a ton of events. I'm hosting a personal event on April 19th, but there's lots of different things that are free to the community. So if anyone wants to check it out, we will be sharing that. So hope to see you all soon.
I love it. All right. Thanks, Joe. All right.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
See you all soon.